June 1945. The war in Europe was over, but the weapons of that war still whispered their stories. In a quiet field near Isigny, France, two tanks stood side by side, one a symbol of Nazi engineering pride, the other an emblem of Allied practicality. On one side, the Panzerkampfwagen Tiger Aus. B, known to Allied troops as the King Tiger, the heaviest tank ever to see significant combat in the Second World War. On the other, the M4A3E2 Sherman Jumbo, a modified version of America's most numerous and adaptable tank. This was no battlefield meeting, but a post-war trial, a test to understand how power, armor, and doctrine had shaped the course of mechanized warfare. When Adolf Hitler demanded a successor to the original Tiger tank, his engineers delivered a monster. Weighing nearly 70 tons, protected by up to 185 millimeters of sloped armor, and armed with the fearsome 8.8 cm KWK 43L71 gun, the Tiger II represented the extreme end of German tank design philosophy. Its armor could shrug off most Allied weapons at long range. Its gun could penetrate any tank fielded by the Western Allies, even from 2 kilometers away. In theory, it was invincible. In practice, it was over-engineered, under-supported, and built too late to alter the tide of war. Each Tiger II required over 300,000 man-hours to construct. Its complex transmission and suspension system were fragile, and its Maybach HL-230 engine struggled to move its massive frame. Fuel shortages, limited production capacity, and Allied air superiority ensured that only a few hundred ever reached the front. But when they did, the battlefield felt their presence. In Normandy, in the Ardennes, and on the Eastern Front, the appearance of a single King Tiger could halt entire columns. Allied tank crews often reported hearing of the Tiger's approach long before they saw it, as though its legend arrived faster than its tracks could carry it. Across the Atlantic, the American approach to tank design was guided by doctrine and efficiency. The Sherman was never intended to dominate through armor or firepower, but through numbers, mobility, and reliability. By 1944, however, U.S. armored divisions began facing increasingly dangerous German tanks. To counter the deadly 88 mm guns and high-velocity 75 mm rounds of German armor, the Ordnance Department introduced a stopgap, the M4A3E2 Jumbo. Thicker frontal armor, reinforced sides, and a modified suspension increased its weight to nearly 42 tons. Though slower, the Jumbo could absorb punishment far beyond the capabilities of a standard Sherman. Its short-barreled 75 mm gun lacked the penetration of German weapons, but its crew could close in, survive first contact, and strike from flanking positions, something the Tiger II could rarely do with its sluggish mobility. In June 1945, at the Isigny Ordnance Depot in Normandy, American engineers began a comparative study between a captured Tiger II and a Sherman Jumbo. The goal was not a contest of pride, but an examination of efficiency, to understand how two industrial philosophies had met on the battlefield. The Tiger II's armor was measured, tested, and analyzed. Its mantlet and glacis plate, forged at Krupp's Essen plant, resisted direct hits from most Allied anti-tank weapons. Only the British 17-pounder, when fired from close range, could guarantee penetration. The Jumbo's armor was thinner, but its rolled homogeneous plates were of high quality and far easier to produce. In 1 month, American factories could build 50 Shermans for the cost and time of one Tiger II. When ordnance officers inspected the Tiger's internal layout, they found cramped crew space, overcomplicated wiring, and maintenance systems that demanded factory-level expertise. By contrast, the Sherman's interior was simple, modular and repairable in the field by mechanics with only basic training. To the Americans, the verdict was clear. Engineering brilliance had been defeated by engineering practicality. In the field, the Tiger II's supposed superiority was rarely absolute. During the Battle of the Ardennes, King Tigers of the 501st Heavy Panzer Battalion advanced through the forests and villages of Belgium. But mechanical breakdowns were frequent. Transmissions seized, fuel lines froze, engines overheated. For every Tiger destroyed in combat, 2 were lost to mechanical failure or abandonment. Meanwhile, the Shermans, lighter, faster, and more reliable, advanced in swarms. They did not rely on a single vehicle's strength, but on coordination, numbers, and artillery support. When a jumbo led a column, it drew enemy fire, allowing other Shermans to flank and destroy German armor. It was a tactical evolution that favored mobility over might. The difference between the two tanks went far deeper than steel and firepower. It was a reflection of two opposing doctrines. The Germans built tanks as individual masterpieces, each one a work of precision engineering meant to dominate through fear and performance. The Americans built tanks as components of a larger system, designed to be repaired, replaced, and produced in overwhelming quantity. By 1945, Germany had produced fewer than 500 Tiger IIs. The United States had produced over 49,000 Shermans. No level of technical superiority could compensate for that numerical reality. After the war, captured Tiger IIs were shipped to the Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland for further trials. American and British engineers conducted exhaustive evaluations of its armor and weaponry. They admired its firepower, respected its armor, but condemned its inefficiency. One British officer summarized it best. "The Tiger II is the best tank in the world, so long as you never have to build more than one." For Allied ordnance officers, the lessons were invaluable. They influenced post-war designs such as the M26 Pershing, Centurion, and later, the M48 Patton, tanks that combined firepower with reliability, balance, and logistical simplicity. Today, the surviving Tiger IIs rest in museums, silent monuments to an era when Germany sought victory through mechanical perfection. The Sherman Jumbo, meanwhile, stands as a reminder of industrial pragmatism, proof that victory in modern warfare is earned not by the strongest weapon, but by the system that sustains it. Power had met production, and production had won. In the end, the King Tiger was a weapon of terror, mighty in design, but crippled by its own ambition. The Sherman Jumbo was a weapon of endurance, modest in form but relentless in purpose. Together, they defined the final chapter of armored warfare in Europe. This was the clash between might and method, between brilliance and practicality, between the dream of dominance and the power of production. This was the King Tiger versus the Sherman Jumbo. This was World War II Memoirs.